We start with 1 hour chart. Okay, if you refer to one analysis in my last video, when the price was exactly within this move, exactly here, we mentioned from now, if we want to look for buy, we have to get the correction, even if we point on this. And exactly this is what we get, because the way was moving is really sharp. Okay, now the thing is, what's the next and how we can look for trade? First of all, we move to higher time frame, we move to daily chart. And as we can see, after the breakout of this top, this is what we get. The way was moving is really sharp, because whenever the price was within this move, we were discussing about uh, trade setup. We mentioned the way it's moving is really corrective. And if we get any trade setup, it can be really sharp. It's similar to what we get here. That's why even within the way it's moving based on the corrective move, we mentioned whatever the trade setup for buy we get, we take. If it's not moving, we start to manage. All right. Anyway, what we expected, we get, and no one see what's the next. Mostly we can look for correction either from here, even the price move a bit higher. Based on daily chart and forward, we can expect to get the correction for continuation. All right, because if based on daily, we see we have a divergence. Okay, that's why based on lower time frame from now, if we want to look for trade, we should have a proper trade setup. And even if we move to forward chart, this is what we get. And now we want to see whether this is only correction or this one can turn to more complex before we get the next move. But anyway, right now we don't have any trade setup. If he wants to jump into the trade, we need to be quite careful. And even if we move to 1 hour chart, okay, how we can look for the trade? Right now, as I mentioned, the way is correcting, and the bot where we have here, it doesn't give us any trade setup. The best thing is if this one at least give us one more drop, 10 more to more complex correction before we get the next move, it can give us better trade setup. But how about if the price continue from here? We cannot get any trade. Either we wait for the sharp move flag and continuation, and the possibility maybe we don't get this one. And then another option, put the entry not above the top, a bit higher, above a bit higher. It depends on the traders how high they can put. Okay, just a bit higher above the top, and what we want, or even they can put above the top. And what we want the price tag and continue with the price tag, and we see it's not moving, even we don't need to wait. It depends how sharp, because mostly if the price tag is not moving, we can see the price. I mean, the draw to drop is quite sharp. That's mean if we want to put in, I mean, entry above the top, what we're looking for, we're looking for price tag and continue. I mean, break and continue with the sharp move. If the price tag we see is not moving within the first hour maximum, we take out the trade. Because rather than that, if there is a continuation, we cannot get any trade setup from what we have right now. Okay, as I mentioned, either we get the more complex correction, then from there we can look for trade setup. And if we want to look for more complex, at least we need to expect to get one more drop. But if the price continue from here, either having entry above this or we look for next flag. But I don't think so we can get any flag if the price break, because mostly we can expect the sharp move. But if we get, this is how we can look for trade. And again, having entry above this is really risky. It depends on the traders. If they want to have entry above the top, they make sure they're in front of the chart. And if the price tag, this is not moving, they shouldn't stay with the trade. Rather than that, we don't have any other option right now. That means we don't have any trade setup right now. Okay, and we don't want to jump into the trade when the price is at the top, in case there is a reversal, or mostly we can expect to get a bigger correction, as I explained based on daily chart. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.